cut back to the Daily Sentinel as they put him in the headlines.
Hornet, and I want those dots. I want dots in the paper.
But managing editor Max Edford warns him that things are going too far and is risking the entire business on this operation. After making a reference to one of their other oft journalists, which may or may not be a red herring in this case, we then cut to a montage of them stopping crime, with both D.A. Scanlon and Chudnovsky being frustrated at their success. I wonder if this is symbolizing something. One morning, the two of them start bonding as they are declared...
What's Sean D?
Brother.
I don't have any siblings.
Hey, it's not about blood. You and me are soul brothers, you know? We're siblings of the spirit.
That's awfully nice.
Kato ends up giving him the signature stun gun, which comes off as him being condescending as he lacks the spirit of the warrior.
How come I'm the only one with a gun?
Because you don't have much fighting experience, so I thought you needed a...
Yeah.
Which then leads to this bit. We cut to some time later as he reawakens from his gas-induced sleep as Kato put together an assembly of backup black beauties, which I guarantee were all used during this film's production. They then finished the quote-unquote joke by saying he was out cold for almost 2 weeks.
11 days? What? Are you kidding me? I wasn't sleeping. I was in a coma, dick.
You know, I could just correct this film on not knowing how comas really work. But then that would require making a tasteless Terry Schiavo joke, which I am not willing to stoop down to making. He reveals that he reduced its potency so that it will only work for an hour, so that it will increase tension for later on, and so we can get this revenge bit. We cut to Case giving him the information that he needs,
the research that you asked for,
but mainly so he can go into another room to set up the sequence of the two of them attempting to hit on her while the other is away. Again, showing the only purpose in this movie she has is to cause a rift between them.
Are you crazy?
Sorry.
You should be sorry. We become renegade superheroes, and there's a lot of stress involved with that, but you don't gotta freak out about it, dude, okay? Not gonna have the coffee or what? I'm joking. I'm totally joking.
Grab my stick! Hold on, stick! No homo, bro!
Yeah, that's the second time in a row I've used that clip. I really should be more careful with it. Kato then takes off to be with Lenore while trying to impress her,
no.
Hit the blackie.
but sees that he has no shot with her when he mentions how they will both be dead in the week,
Anyhow, they'll both be dead in no time.
since Chudnovsky is getting ready to silence them while torturing his own guys.
Great. What about the Hornet?
They meet up again where they read emails from fellow criminals who seem to be setting them up for that operation.
Could be a trap. Like how Gotti killed Mangera.
Information he got from Lenore, but he covers his ass by making a History Channel reference.
The History Channel.
Heh, nice try, movie, but everyone knows the only thing that network stands for these days is being known as the All-Hitler Channel. This, of course, starts building up their rift as Kato tries warning him as they go in for Chudnovsky, as they are cornered by cargo trucks and effectively buried in their black beauty. I could just make a Superman reference here, but since this wasn't caused by an earthquake, I'm going to have to withhold the joke. Kato then sets off the missiles, blowing them the fuck out, killing one of the goons, making their escape as Chudnovsky tries taking them out with one of his trucks, until he accidentally flips himself over, taking out the other goons. Having just barely escaped, the rift comes in full effect as we are approaching the third act. So of course they have their little brawl, which will end up spreading across the mansion, and they drag this scene on and on and on. You know, when this scene was done in Ted, it was actually the end of their fighting, and it's what caused them to make up right afterwards. But here it just delays the inevitable that they are breaking their partnership. Yep, their friendship is still ending. Still ending.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it!
property! Fire!
Kato tries to go back to Lenore, but she rejects him upon being fired by Scanlon.
What?
Meanwhile, Chudnovsky is mourning over one of his comrades as he swears revenge by putting a bounty on the Green Hornet, spreading it across the entire neighborhood to get them in on the game, while using an effect that would make Ang Lee blush, as we see them killing off every single Green Hornet copycat off the street. Gee, this is a completely original concept that doesn't look like it was taken from anything that we have seen before.
Be aware, the image is disturbing.
News spreads as Rogan blames himself as D.A. Scanlon sees an advantage to this. News spreads as Rogan blames himself as D.A. Scanlon sees an advantage to this.
Look, running a newspaper must be difficult. I mean,
You like saying you want me to slant the news for you for your re-election? Is that what this is?
We cut back to Chudnovsky as he starts to reenact James Franco's monologue in an earlier scene, as he decides to dub himself Bloodnovsky. You know, at this point, he seems to be the best overall character in this movie.
Honestly?
So all I can say is, Team Bloodnovsky all the way.
I think that is the stupidest thing I have ever heard.
Why is that stupid? That's not stupid.
Man, he is trying so hard to make this work, but it only comes off as embarrassing. After offing one of his more useless henchmen,
Bloodnovsky starts tonight.
Rogan then heads off to Lenore's place as he also finds out that she had been fired by Scanlon. And after rehiring her while subverting the whole getting the girl situation,
Oh my... What is your problem?
I'm sorry. I didn't plan on kissing you when I said all that. I still mean it. Will you come back and work for me, please?
we cut to Kato putting together his resume as he gets an email from Bloodnovsky, while Rogan gets a phone call from Scanlon that is parallel to Kato's email message, showing that Scanlon is going to try and assassinate Rogan. Kato then breaks into the mansion to retrieve his Black Beauty and goes on the chase to stop the plan, as Rogan heads to the restaurant with Scanlon and Bloodnovsky not too far behind. He then learns that he's being told to write the news to be in Scanlon's favor while recording it.
I'm going to tell you whether it's okay for you to print in your stupid little newspaper.
Spends a lot of time gloating about what clearly failed to record at all, while Scanlon reveals that he's the one who killed his dad with the bee toxin because he stopped
It's administered by me.
Really? You made D.A. Scanlon into a villain? In the original series, Scanlon was actually one of the few allies of the Green Hornet, and he knew his true identity was Britt Reed, and pretty much helped him and Kato out on their missions. Here, they just decide to make him into a corrupt politician who doesn't know who the Green Hornet is
About to be killed by the Green Hornet.
and wants to take him down so he can become elected. Again, we have a case of a good guy being turned evil for no damn good reason. I mean, what was the purpose of this? Was Bloodnovsky not enough of a villain to fall back on that you had to pull this MI bullshit on us? Oh, but that is for another time, let me tell you. Of course, this leads to him making up to Kato, who Scanlon is unaware of this whole rift between them, as the restaurant they're in is destroyed in the melee. Hey, you missed one. And Scanlon hitches a ride with Bloodnovsky and chases after, as they are planning to put the recorder files on the internet. But you know it has nothing on it, as they try to be funny, sentimental, and action-oriented all at the same time. And it's a complete mess.
honestly, I've been jealous of you this entire time. You're awesome. You built this whole car. I know. You know karate. You're charming. Thank you.
Kato then decides to take them out in their own turf, while Rogan tries to steer the car as we get more unfunny banter.
Are you okay up there? What are you doing?
as they end up crashing into the printing press as he drops the empty USB drive, and he tries to retrieve it while Kato wards off the crooks. But Bludnovsky catches up with him, and the chase leads to the paper room, which he gets out of, leading to another 3D effect, which gets Kato to free the Black Beauty, retrieving Rogan as they crash into an elevator, which gets them to ram through an entire office floor, taking out the electricity and leaving the action scene to take place in the dark. Bludnovsky manages to get some light back up in the room and injures Kato, while Rogan finally figures out that he didn't actually record anything. Scanlon shows up demanding the evidence. He sees Bludnovsky getting ready to kill Kato as he starts having the 3D effects vision. Okay, this shit is just getting tedious at this point. But it ultimately fails him. But it gives Kato the resolve to free himself and take 2 wooden planks and blinds Bludnovsky with them as Rogan shoots him to death. A SWAT team shows up and shoots Rogan in the shoulder as they leap out a window and ram over Scanlon, killing him. They make it over to Lenore's place as they try to explain themselves as he needs to attend to his injury. So they stage a press conference the next day where he has Kato, quote-unquote, shoot him.
The Green Hornet sends his regards.
As the police go on chase, only to have the Black Beauty showcase its camouflage mode while the 1960s theme song plays in the background. Yeah, movie, it's way too late to be pandering to the fan base. You already shit all over them as it is at this point. Of course, this leads to one last scene where they put the head back on the statue, as they end on an unfunny bit on what to name Kato before cutting to the credits.
The blue wombat.
Oh man. Okay, how about the red hippopotamus?
So that was Seth Rogen's The Green Hornet, and did you know they actually expected this to spark into a new franchise? Yeah, me neither. Jesus, this movie does not do the series justice at all. It was basically a Seth Rogen movie with the Green Hornet label stamped right onto it and nothing else, and proved to be such a spectacular failure that it not only put the halt to any plans for a follow-up, and rightfully so, it also stigmatized the word green in any superhero property made afterwards, as the Green Lantern movie would also end up bombing at the box office and with critics and fans. So much to the point that when a Green Arrow series was greenlit for the CW, they simply titled it Arrow just to avoid the green stigma. And to make matters worse, there's a Lone Ranger movie that's being planned for later this year starring Johnny Depp, and it doesn't seem to be any better off than this film was. Well, I sure hope you enjoyed this Stoner Trifecta review series, because it sure was a hell of a lot to sit through. Because for some reason, I now have the sudden attack of the munchies for some pizza. So, until next time.
Okay. That should do it. Thank you for your time, Mr. Barnhart.
I think you mean Officer Barnhart.